Hi and welcome back to my channel, Julep's Garden. I live in North Carolina, Zone 8A. It's March, we're back at Lowe's and we're gonna go see what they have in stock. Wow, this store has undergone a transformation since the last time I was here. It is packed to the brim with all sorts of exciting new plants, and they were bringing in more and more. I can't wait to show you what they have. Okay, it definitely looks like they've brought in a lot more stuff since the last time we were here. So we have this Prime Arc Freedom Blackberry Bush, and this one says it does not need another pollinator. And it grows to 6 by 6 feet high and wide, and it goes from -20 to -30 degrees. And this one is $13.98. They have this tree, it's called Delta Blues Chase Tree, and this one is $30.98. It says it blooms spring, summer, and fall. And this one grows to 10 by 10. I'm so excited to see these. This is the ranunculus. So I know that the tulip gets a lot of attention in the spring, but for me, this is the flower that I get the most excited about. So this is an annual. So these little containers, they kind of come with a faux basket. It's $14.98, and this will only bloom in spring for you. These particular ones get up to 14 inches by 14. So not too tall of a plant. It's good if you don't have a lot of space for cut flowers. To me, it's kind of like a cross between a peony and a rose. It's not a huge flower, as you can see, but look at how delicate and all these petals. They have this different variety of a container, and this one's slightly larger, and they have it for $19.98. You can also buy these in corms, and I think in North Carolina you can plant them out or sprout them in October or very early winter. Look at all these beautiful snapdragons. So this is a container of 4 for $13.98. And snapdragons love this cool weather we're having in the spring, and the more you cut or trim them, the more they'll bloom for you. They have some dianthus, and this was a pack of 12 for $13.98. And I love the color combination of this pale yellow with the soft purples. And they've already brought out the geraniums, and geraniums will bloom all season long for you. However, I think if you're still expecting some really cold weather, you might want to be careful with these. And this container is selling for $24.98. It looks like they also have petunias out already. So this is a 8-pack for $3.98. Look at this blue. I love this color blue. Also an 8-pack for $3.98. These are pansies. They even have the marigolds out already, also $3.98. Look at these colors together. And is it just me, or does it seem like violas have happy little faces? Violas are my personal favorite because they do well in part shade. This is another color of dianthus that they have. If you just want to accent one, like in a planter, if you're doing different flowers, this one is $1.98. These are single packs of violas. Look at how happy these are, $1.98. And they have the petunias also. These are kind of larger, or no, it is like the normal single pack for $3.98. So they do have the marigolds out, but see here on the label, it does say non-hardy below 40 degrees. So if you're gonna put these out, I would definitely keep an eye on the weather in your area. I love these blue colors with the black. I know spring is a good time for happy bright colors, but there is something so just calming about this light blue. So this is $16.98. So most of their annuals that come in an 8-pack are $3.98. And I always say this, but just in case you haven't heard me say it, violas and pansies are edible. However, I would kind of wait to get some new growth because I don't know what these have been sprayed with. So maybe don't eat the first batch until you see your plant develop new flowers and you know for sure you haven't been spraying them with anything. Oh my gosh, look at all these beautiful colors. These get me so excited. Okay, let's look one by one. So this is the ballerina lilac armeria, and this is a perennial. This one is a 2.5 quart for $7.98, and it gets about 10 by 10, and it's cold, non-hardy in zones 1 through 5. Next we have the blue moon phlox, and this is non-hardy in zones 1 through 3, so you have more options. And this one gets 12 inches high, 18 inches wide, and this is also perennial. And this one is good for part sun, so that's good. And this is $7.98, also 2.5 quart. This is the songbird bluebird columbine, and this is also perennial, $7.98 also. And look, this one does also part sun, 3 to 6 hours. If you're having a tough time finding things for your part sun location, look how beautiful between the phlox and the columbine. Yellow one is the spring magic yellow columbine. And it looks like these blooms are barely opening up, and some have passed. We have another perennial. This is Powys Castle Artemisia, and this is $7.98 also. And this is non-hardy in zones 1 through 4, and it can get 3 by 2 feet wide, so this definitely grows bigger than the other ones. And I almost missed this one. This is the Fort Hill creeping phlox, also $7.98. It's a perennial, but this one obviously has more of a trailing habit. This is good to grow between rocks or mounds or hills, and it looks so pretty spilling over the edge. Look at this. This is Sonetti pericalis. I haven't seen this one. So this one also blooms in spring, $11.98. This is an annual. Look at these colors. This is more creeping phlox, but this one is called emerald blue. And this is called the Jubilee Gold Wallflower, non-hardy in zones 1 through 4, and it grows 15 by 15 inches high and wide. The tulips are here. Look at these. These are $17.98. So I always say this, but I think it's a common misconception or confusion with tulips in North Carolina. I see the leaves popping up everywhere just by themselves because I think most people think they come back year after year. But unless the bulb gets 6 weeks of cold, it is not going to flower again. So if you buy something like this, it's just going to give you the flower this year. And it's not something you can put into your landscape and expect it to bloom again for you next year. So this is Betty Dark Blue Bacopa. I can never say that. And this does like full sun. It's $5.98. So this one says it's well-behaved trailing plant, and it does bloom from spring to summer, and it says it's even good in the summer heat, so that's really good to know. And it does want full sun, and it can get up to 24 inches wide. It's low growing. This white color is just so beautiful and crisp. These little containers are so cute. This is $14.98. I would choose something like this where it's still gonna bloom for you. Stay away from these because basically you're not gonna get to enjoy the bloom very much longer. These are still okay. We've even brought out the Gerber daisies already. These are $5.98. This is a container for $14.98 with stock flowers. So this is a cool season annual. It's supposed to smell really nice. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. This is for a shady location, which I have tons of shades, so I get so excited to see these. This color combination is just so beautiful. So this has a begonia, it has the polka dot plant, and English ivy. It's like a pothos to me. I see the polka dot plant and I see the ivy and the begonia, but this is a pothos. Get a little house plant in here. This one has a flowering kalanchoe, polka dot plant, and pothos. So this one does say Aspathos. They just ran out of room on the tag. Look at these red tulips. So they have these little containers of tulips. These are $2.98. And look, you get 1, 2, 3. You can see the little bud in there. For $2.98, that's not bad at all. This, in a combination with others, would make a really pretty spring planter. I spotted these across the store and I got so excited that they have these. So here it is, cyclamen. So these are $14.98, comes with a little pot. But I think these are so, I don't know why these flowers captivate me so much. Literally like the petals fall up, if that makes sense. From the top, there is a little stem, but the petals grow up. In my hunt for shade-loving flowers, I heard about these from Carmen Johnson. She's used them in full shade planters and I fell absolutely in love with them. They won't tolerate under 40 degrees, so you have to be also careful. They have brought in so much inventory, let's keep exploring. Oh, this color is so pretty. This reminds me of Jazzberry from Proven Winners. And this one is $5.98. They've brought in such a good selection of perennials also. This is a crescendo yellow primrose and it's $5.48. It says it blooms spring and summer. And this one says that it's going to get 6 by 10 inches high and wide, non-hardy in zones 1 through 3. These are so adorable. So this is the Bellissima Red English Daisy. So for those of you looking for shady areas, this one also is part sun, 3 to 6 hours of sun. And it's $5.48. And it says it blooms in spring, gonna get 10 inches high by 8 inches wide. So here we have another variety of dianthus. This is Peppermint Star Dianthus. This one does want full sun and it gets 8 by 10 inches high and wide. This is another variety of dianthus. This is Scent First Passion Dianthus. This one is $7.98 for 2.5 size cord. Gets 12 by 12. And this is another perennial. This one's called Snow Cone Candy Tuft. This one's $5.98. I have this one at home and it's a very, very low maintenance. It's just starting to bloom now. This is the Pink Mist Pincushion Flower. And it says it blooms summer and fall. It's $7.98. And this one gets 15 by 15 and is non-hardy in zones 1 through 2. So most of us can plant this one. And another part shade one. This is the Leonardo Compact Leopard Spain. Blooms in spring. This one gets 12 by 10. There really is so many perennials that bloom in spring. This is one of my favorite perennials. It's fuzzy. You can actually pet the leaves. It's $7.98. This one is called Silver Carpet Big Ears. This one's going to get 12 by 18 inches. And these do multiply. And they had some more colors or different varieties of the perennials we saw. This one's called Purple Rain. It's another variety of creeping phlox. And this one's Ballerina Red Armeria. It really does feel like spring is here with all these beautiful bright colors. There are so many different varieties of phlox. One is Red Wing Creeping Phlox. This one gets 8 by 10. Look at this geranium. This one's called a Regal Geranium, $12.98. I love just a little splash of color on this one. So this is the Spring Fever Yellow Iceland Poppy. It likes full sun. It says it's a perennial. It grows 18 by 18 and cold hardy to -40 to -50. So here we have some more candy tuft. This is the Monrovia brand and this one is $13.48. It's a Monrovia Dianthus. This one's Early Bird Frosty Dianthus. Also perennial, $6.48. It says it only grows to 6 by 6. Okay, it looks like we're getting to the Proven Winners section. This is Primo Black Pearl. It's a heuchera. These do well in sun or shade, $13.48. These keep their foliage all year round. This is another perennial. This one's called Spot On. It's a pulmonaria. This one does well from part shade to shade. $13.98. One will grow up to 14 inches high. Hardy in zones 3 through 9. It has these beautiful blue and pink flowers. If you have a shady area, you know it's kind of hard to get color in it, so this is a great way to add color, especially with the heucheras and this. Look how pretty that looks. One is Dolce Cherry Truffles. This is the Lemon Coral Sedum by Proven Winners. It's pretty popular, $13.98, and it is huge. You can tolerate full sun to part sun, so if you have a part sun location where you could combine these, look what a beautiful contrast these colors make with each other. And now if you're looking for some grasses and you have part shade, this is Blue Arrows Rush, and it's $8.48. It's a perennial ornamental grass, and it says that it grows up to 36 inches high. Also have this one. This is Blue Select Fescue, Part Sun, and this one gets, let's see, up to 10 inches high by 12 inches wide, $8.48. So we have the Setsugeka camellia. I'm not sure how you say that. So this one blooms in fall. Some camellias bloom in winter and some in fall. This one is a fall blooming one, $28.98. This one's gonna grow to 6 feet high by 6 feet wide. And it is non-hardy in zones 1 through 6. And here we have the rhododendron. So this one is called Roseum elegans, and this one is $27.98 for a 2.25 size gallon. So the rhododendron has these big, beautiful blooms. Sometimes I would get them confused for azaleas at the beginning, but the blooms just stand out because they form like these massive ball-looking heads. And once you get close, you see its individual flowers. But these are some of my favorite. When I see a rhododendron blooming, I just have to stop in my tracks and look at it because it's breathtaking. I have a smaller one. This is Kynoids rhododendron for $12.98, and this one only gets 4 by 6 feet high and wide, and it's a smaller container. And here we have another camellia. This is the Crimson Candles camellia. One blooms in the spring for $28.98, a 2.25 gallon size. Also have this one, Morning Glow camellia. And both camellias and the rhododendrons do well in part shade. Here's the forsythia blooming away. It's so beautiful. This one is $24.98. This one's gonna grow 8 by 8 and non-hardy in zones 1 through 3. So these were the roses I showed you guys last month, and if you remember, I'll try to insert a clip. They were just branches at that point, and now look at them. They have grown so much since then. So they're still $19.98. Won't go through each one anymore because you can reference that video. I went through every single one of them, but definitely the Earth Angel seems to be popular because there's not very many of those left. Still a few of the Sunbelt Savannah, the Bolero, and the Romantica Moonlight. They also have the drift roses in already. This one is Popcorn Drift. So these are described as ground cover roses made easy, and this one is buttery yellow with white flowers. This one is gonna get, let's see, only 1.5 feet high by 2 wide. So they're not big at all in zones 4 through 11. Full sun. And they also have the Coral Drift. One only gets 1.5 feet by 1.5 wide. Guys, they have so much stuff coming in. I'm gonna have to come back because I cannot fit this all in one video. So they do have some daffodils on clearance. This is $2.98, and according to the sign, they'll come out to $2. So sometimes I like to get my daffodil bulbs on clearance like this because they'll come back next year. I probably will wait till they're a little bit less though. They also had azaleas. This one is a fashion azalea for $24.98, and the Joanna for $9.98. And here we have the frost-proof gardenia for $24.98. So gardenias can be a little bit sensitive to cold, but this one can tolerate all the way up to zone 7. This is a Carolina jasmine plant, and so this is a climbing vine plant. They have it shown here going over an arbor for $21.98. However, it did have a big label just warning you it is poisonous if consumed for humans or animals. Okay guys, that's it for today. I do plan on coming back, so make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on all the inventory that's coming in, and I really appreciate your support.